In this video, me and my friend attempt to beat Terraria Master Mode using only ice and fire weapons. Will the Ice and Fire Nation learn to coexist or destroy each other along the way? We begin our Master Mode journey like any other, immediately dying to slimes, deforesting the area, and building a mediocre house so that we can stay nice and safe at nighttime. I decided to explore the right side of our world, where I found myself a bunch of useless weapons, some climbing claws, and more useless weapons, before being interrupted by Flambe finally joining, prompting the guy to die very soon after his appearance. Coincidence?
I think not!
I also found an aglet during this trip. Remember this aglet. It will be important in a later episode. It was getting dark, so I willingly teleported myself home, only to realize a fatal flaw in my house from earlier. You would assume I learned my lesson.
Dreams, baby.
Think again, buddy. This upset left us with no choice but to explore the mines for anything to aid our journey, leading my friend to find himself a wand of sparking.
Oh, let's go. I got my first weapon.
Just listen to that joy. We'll fix that later. The next few minutes consisted of the same things. Mine ore, explore, mine ore, explore. The only notable thing I found was a wand of sparking, but this is useless for the time being. A couple minutes later and I came across the holy grail of this run, the ice biome. Why is it considered the holy grail, you may ask? That's because it is home to the only 4 weapons I am allowed to use for the entirety of pre-hard mode. The ice boomerang, frost brand, snowball cannon, and the craftable wand of frosting. Which after only a few minutes of mining I got a hold of one of as my first weapon. I spent the remainder of my time in the ice biome collecting the blizzard in a bottle, flurry boots, more flurry boots, the ice blade, ice skates, another ice blade, and even more flurry boots. It was at this time we decided we were strong enough to take on the Eye of Cthulhu, without an arena. So I started building one in the middle of the fight. The fight was actually going pretty well, and we died. But this loss gave me the knowledge we needed to win. It helped me discover that our battle arena was the equivalent of the Titanic, which was incredible on paper but sunk the moment some solid water caressed it. So I made the best goddamn arena pre-hard mode has ever seen. It had platforms and campfires and torches. There was no way we could lose this fight now. So we challenged the Eye again and won with immense ease this time. And it was all thanks to this guy. With the Eye defeated, I did what any logical Terrarian would do at this stage and put my creative prowess to use on our base. However, the Fire Nation did not like this act of creative expression and attempted to burn it to the ground. This put the Fire Nation on the Ice Nation's KOS list. Arson aside, I explored the sky for a balloon and a horseshoe, but was only able to find the horseshoe and a celestial magnet. Our next goal was to challenge the Goblin army, so rather than waiting for it to spawn naturally, I started farming for goblins to craft the summon. Little did I know this would take a long ass time. There were moments when I wanted to gouge my own eyes out, but I prevailed. And right when I returned to base with the materials, guess what happened? That's right, it spawned naturally. Man, I sure do love this game. The goblins themselves weren't too hard, and after a few minutes and some Fire Nation casualties, the Goblin army was eventually defeated. While searching for the Goblin Tinker, I discovered that boulder traps activate 3 blocks under them, which awakened a rage in me that the internet isn't quite ready to see yet. It was this rage that helped me murder the King Slime with hate in every swing. My rage, paired with the Fire Nation's persistent Molotovs, ended his life faster than the average American marriage. Back to the skies I went, where I finally found a balloon which immediately was turned into a horseshoe balloon. Now I'm making some pretty big advancements here, so let's check in on Flambe. We fought the Eye again for some cash, and I went searching for the snowball cannon, which I found with very little effort. This was enough of an upgrade to challenge the Eater of Worlds now, which the flare gun was surprisingly effective against. The fight was quick and boring, so I'll spare you the time. But the next goal for me was to upgrade my kicks, which required an Anklet of the Wind. So off to the jungle I go, finding the Tavern Keeper as well and his beer collection. A few minutes later, and eventually the anklet was mine. It was now upgrade time, and my loadout was getting pretty strong, but my finances were in shambles. So while my flaming friend, was mining for Hellstone, I went vase smashing because that's obviously where the money is. Let this be a lesson that if you're ever short on money, go ahead and break your grandma's ash face for some quick cash. Anyways, we both crafted a full set of molten armor, and Flambe crafted himself a volcano, imp staff, and molten fury. It was now time to challenge Skeletron, and let me tell you, this guy was child's play. The first half of the fight was us cleaning his hands with snowballs and flaming arrows, and the second half was Skeletron's worst nightmare, circles. After Skeletron's defeat, we didn't waste a second, diving straight into the dungeon for a shadow key. We also found the mechanic and a cobalt shield. After almost dying a few times, we returned home with an alchemy station and shadow key. The rest of the night was spent farming the Eye of Cthulhu a few times, building a cave pylon, and adding some detail to the house. Man, let me tell you, it sure was a lot of work. I'm sure Flambe was working really hard too.